let's break this down, ladies and gentlemen. Listen now. There is no set of blueprints that exist or that could ever be created on this earth that would cost $20,000. Now, I know exactly what I'm talking about because I reached out to 3 different contractors. All right? All 3 of these different contractors, they have actually hired people to draw up blueprints, and it never costed $20,000. We're talking about larger property than what Umar Johnson has been showing you. Okay, a lot larger, and it was still nowhere near $20,000. Now you can do this research for yourself. It's simple. You just contact 3 different or 2 different contractors, or just one contractor. All right. One of the 3, I wanted to know a rough estimate of what it would cost to renovate one of those buildings. Now, he said this would be a rough estimate because he couldn't actually venture inside there physically and see what would be wrong from top to bottom, from foundation to roof, okay? But he gathered all the information that he could about this location, all right? Within a day, he got back with me. He said one of the buildings, this is a rough estimate. He explained that yet again to me. He said at least $1.5 million. Not $400,000, at least $1.5 million, okay? And most of that would be materials. You have to understand, everything that would go inside the renovation of these buildings, it would have to meet code, all right? The standards of building codes, because children would be attending the school and other people. You would be liable if anything that was inside this school that actually hurt a child. And which brings me to something else. You would have to have liability insurance. You can't just open up a location, private or no private, and just, okay, we're going to do this. And then, listen, it's so much that's attached to this that you wouldn't even begin to understand the cost. It's a headache. I have reached out to several people and it took them years to even, sometimes to even break even. But to start making a profit, to start actually making it worth it, you got to suffer, man. Because when you open something up newly like this, money is going out in all different directions, materials, and then you have to hire a maintenance man to keep these things safe and to keep these things functioning. And I mean, it's unbelievable. It's a headache. Everybody that I discussed this with that knows anything about this, they told me it's a straight up headache. And when you get to the point to where you actually making a profit, that's when you can breathe easy and say, oh, finally, after all my hard work, after all this sacrifice, after all the money that I've invested into this, doesn't happen overnight. See, that's why I know that this man is not serious. And he never was serious. The only reason that he obtained these buildings, which I still really don't believe, I think there's something more about that. I really do. And I'm not going to rest until I actually find out the truth. But I'm telling you, something isn't right about this. It's not. I don't believe that this man has had any amount of money that was over $2,000 to $3,000. Because every time that he collected money, if you would remember all the times that he would video himself over here and over there and taking baths in Japan and tricking and trading, he was spending that money just as fast as he was getting it. So you mean to tell me that he was living off this money also too and actually saving the money? Come on, you can't do both. He didn't have a 9 to 5. But then people would say, oh, well, he was making money off the lectures and the seminars. No. When he got caught up with that stripper, I'm telling you facts right now, people started backing away from him. All right? That most requested bullshit, that's bullshit. They started backing away from him. He was making less and less money. So he was becoming even more dependent on what? Donations. Just like he is now. That's why he doesn't have a car. That's why he doesn't have a permanent place to stay. All right? Because he has no money. He ain't paid no damn $20,000 for no damn blueprints. Come on, man. Who in the hell would believe that fucking bullshit? And when it comes to him having these people give him estimates that concerns like the locks and the doors and a part of the renovation process. Anybody can get an estimate. Most estimates are free. So he can video all these people in the process of giving him an estimate while they are evaluating how much would all of this work cost. But there was no renovating going on. You saw that firsthand. You saw that firsthand. And that came from the horse's mouth. He showed you that it wasn't nothing going on. Every time he mentioned renovating, he was talking very softly because he didn't want those people that he had to come over there and give him an estimate. He didn't want them to hear what he was saying. He was trying to play y'all for fools, just like he had been since day one. He never imagined that he would have to take this scam this far. He thought he could raise $1 million and then disappear and you would never see him again. But as it is, it didn't work out like that. I explained this 3 years ago, even before we got to this point. And I told you, I said, listen, for him to actually start the donations flowing back again frequently, he would have to take this scam to another level. And that's exactly what he did. He thought about it and he said, okay, well, if I show them something and if I tell these people that this is it, we finally found the location, donations would come in just like water, just like water. And they did because people thought that he was serious. I still don't believe that he owns these buildings. Now, I know I've seen the same documents that you have seen. I've seen that. It's something to this. I don't believe he paid $400,000 for these buildings. I don't think he had $400,000 at one time. Remember, he was living off of the same money that people was donating. How can you save money when you have to live off of this money? And every time that we see him inside of a video, he has a backpack on. Why do you need a backpack? If you got a place to stay, nigga, why do you need a backpack? Why are you walking so much? Are you exercising? That makes no sense. Then you see these different cars. These are cars of women that he is using. And they don't really want to be in the video because they don't want to be made a fool of. But you have already been made a fool of. Yeah, I mean, this is just outrageous to me. $20,000 for blueprints. Because he has to make it look like, okay, every penny of your donation money is going to this school. It's going toward our dream. I'm not even taking $1 from these donations that's coming in. But yes, he is. But it's not enough for him to actually live like he was living before. Now listen, for the last 5 or 6 years, I don't believe that he has had a permanent place to stay. This is why he was on a permanent tour. He was always telling you that he was the most requested because he didn't want you to figure out rather, that you know what? He has no place to stay. He was in motels. I mean, just 24/7 motels. And he would give dates of where he gonna be and these times. And then when people would check it out, it would either be canceled or it didn't exist at all, okay? Finally, he had to just stop that, because people would straight up catching him in a damn lie. And we have caught him in so many lies that I just can't believe that anybody is still giving him $1 in the form of a donation. I cannot believe it's nothing short of amazing. I'm telling you right now. Listen, anybody can get estimates. I can call somebody right now and say, hey, listen, I need an estimate of how much it would be to change all the locks in my house. Well, they'll come out and give a free estimate because they want my business. But when it's time for them to do the work, guess what? They want to get paid. They want to get paid. They ain't going to be talking and I'm going to be shooting them on video, talking about renovating and this and that. Show the renovation when it's going on. Don't show us 2 trucks that's sitting out there for 5 minutes and then they leave and then, oh, we ain't playing. Oh, yeah, I told you we ain't playing. What? You thought people was going to fall for that bullshit, man? I'm mighty surprised at you, Umar. You're getting very, 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 very desperate at this point. And I'm telling you, I don't put it past him to be in prison within 2 months. I'm telling you. This nigga, he gonna either rob a liquor store or he gonna rob one of those ladies and they gonna turn his ass in. And I'm telling you, that's gonna be the beginning of the end right there. I'm telling you. Because a person with nothing to lose, they take more risk. And I'm telling you, he's taking a lot more risk. He has taken this scam to a level now that he can't stop now. Because if he do, I'm telling you right now, I know for a fact, the FBI, they are waiting for him to abandon this. And as soon as he do, they're going to have all the ammunition they need, and then it's it for him. They're going to prosecute his ass. Wire fraud and, man, so many fucking charges. Shit, I hope he got a good lawyer. And if you don't, you better be looking for one. Because I'm telling you, they're going to throw the book at your ass. And they just waiting for you to abandon this. And any moment he is. The donations are not coming in like they used to. We all know that. You don't have to be a brain surgeon to have figured that out. This is why you see him with no car. This is why you see him with a backpack on, with a few clothes, and he's staying from female to female to female. That's what he's doing. That's exactly what he's doing. And they are giving him rides all around. And see, he probably promised them, listen, look, you know, once I start getting a little more donations, I can actually pay you. And I'll just tell people that you my secretary, or, you know, you're part of the FDMG crew, or, you know, some bullshit like that, you know. And they buying into it. And for now, it's keeping him off the streets. All right? But what happens when they get wise and say, you know what, nigga, I'm not supporting you no more. You can't stay at my house. I'm not cooking you no breakfast and no lunch and dinner. I'm not going to buy you anything. Nigga, you got to go. Then he's back on the street, back staying at shelters, back begging you for money because he is having to survive off of this same money that is supposed to go toward these abandoned buildings. And let me say it again. It's something strange about the ownership of these buildings. I don't believe it. I don't have facts to prove my theory, but I'm going with my gut on this. It's something wrong. It's something wrong. I know for a fact he has never had more than $2,000 to $3,000 at one time. No. That nigga likes to trick and trade. That nigga likes to buy drugs. And it's maybe even other vices that he is involved in that we don't even know about. I think he smokes. I think he actually forgot when he decided to push record on that video. He forgot that he was actually smoking that so-called black and mild, but we know that it might have been something else. Hell, for all we know, it could have been something known as a boot fire. Do you know what a boot fire is, ladies and gentlemen? Marijuana and cocaine crushed together and smoked together. That's called a boot fire. You understand? I think he forgot that he was recording himself, so he had to come up with a lie quick. This nigga is a great liar. He came up with that lie quick. Oh yeah, I gotta blow some smoke for the ancestors. This is the sacred rock, and this is the sacred tree, and this is the sacred grass, and this is the sacred stairs, and this is the sacred this. Get the hell out of it. Man, what the fuck you talking about, nigga? You got caught. Just be honest. Yeah, I smoke. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, by now, people should have already caught on to exactly what this nigga is doing. But don't you worry, because I'm telling you, as soon as he starts to try to back away from this, and he knows this, the FBI is waiting on him. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they have already reached out to him and told him, listen, if you don't follow through with this, we're going to lock your ass up. So do what you got to do. I think he is aware of it. And I think he's getting even more desperate because of that fact. This is why he's begging y'all to death. Listen, don't give him any money. Don't give him any money. Every cent of that money he is using to live off of. All right? You can see he has no possessions. You can see he has no place to stay. You can see he has no car. You can see the backpack that he's traveling with. Come on, man. What are you doing? You don't think people can figure out what's going on? You think you can hide it that well? You haven't been able to hide it well enough for us to not really understand what's really going on. And I'm telling you, going back to this again, it's something about the ownership of this. And I want to find out more information because I don't believe he paid $400,000 for these buildings. I don't believe it. If he had that type of money, he would have a car right now. Okay? As good as he lies, as good as he can come up with a lie. You mean to tell me he gave all the money he had toward this school and not have a place to stay and not have a car to drive? But let's go back to this. He was videotaping himself in the past, going to Japan, taking baths and all that, and, shouting out Japan, shouting out Africa, and, everywhere he went. Okay. But you mean to tell me that he has lost his car and a place to stay, but he paid $400,000 for it? Get the hell out of here. Come on, man. And I know a lot of you thinking the same exact thing. You don't believe it. I don't believe he paid that much. I think he paid less than maybe a couple of $1,000s for these buildings. And that's if he actually really owns them. Has anybody thought to actually call the last owners of these buildings? Has anybody thought to maybe call the tax place that concerning this location? Because it's just something that isn't right. I'm telling you. And I think it's going to come out very soon. I think he's trying his best to hide it. I think he's trying his best to try to steer away people from thinking about this. But something doesn't add up. It really don't make any sense for him to spend $400,000 on these buildings but not have a car, not have a place to stay, not being able to get a decent haircut. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Now, we know for sure that the donations that he was used to having coming in, they have stopped. I'm telling you, a whole lot of people have turned against him because they can clearly see now, you know what? He's playing games. And I no longer want to be a part of keeping this nigga up. I'm telling you, you ought to file this nigga on your taxes because he has been living off of every inch, every penny of donation that's been coming in. Every video now is donate, donate, donate. People have been donating for years, man. What are you talking about? See, by letting people know that he spent more than $400,000 for these buildings, that would account for where the money went to. I don't believe it. I've heard $400,000. I've heard $700 and some odd $1,000. Come on, man. You had that much money sitting around and you didn't pay off your car so that they wouldn't repo it? Wait. Something doesn't add up here. Now, we know he isn't stupid because if he was, there's no way that he would be at this level of this scam right now. There's no way, okay? So something don't add up. Something don't add up. And reflecting on what Lennon Arnold said, he said that he still hasn't seen keys that's actually in Umar's hand that would belong to opening these schools. Something isn't right. You paid for these schools, but you don't have a key? What the hell? Something, it just don't make any sense. Now, listen, I want to leave you with this. Anybody can call a company and get an estimate at any time. And it can seem like those people are actually renovating or working or doing work at your location. All right? You can video them and you can just lie your ass off. But that doesn't mean that they are actually renovating. I think they gave him an estimate and he probably said, I'll get back with you. All right? But he felt the need to record them at that moment and not really show who they are, but kind of just show that it's a couple of trucks here and, to take this scam into the future. All right? He's already given himself even more time to finish the school. He's saying next year, you see, 2021, you see? And when January gets in, he'll give you some more bullshit, and then he'll take it to another year, and another year, and another year. He can't abandon it because he understands if he does, the FBI is waiting for him. I know for a fact that they are. As soon as he does, they're going to prosecute. So he's stuck. I'm telling you, within 2 months, this nigga's going to be in jail. I don't know what for, but it's going to be something that has to do with his desperate need of money. He might smack a woman, a girl, or whatever. He might rob a liquor store. He going to do something, and he going to be locked up within 2 months. I guarantee you. I guarantee you.